We get a decent amount of money from those bales. I think we're gonna head on over to the main farm, I guess we could call it, and with the house, and we're gonna buy ourselves a few more calves. That way, when they in a few days, when they're actual cows, we'll move those over to the cow farm, and then I'll sell whatever cows won't fit, basically. Because until we expand all our cow sheds, we can only hold 10 cows. So if I buy 5 calves here now, and then I move them over there in 3 days, we're gonna have to sell 5 cows. That kind of thing. So we're gonna try and buy like, I don't know, maybe 3. I can't remember how much they are. I think they're still $200. So maybe we'll buy 5, because 5 will fit in the trailer that we have. And there's plenty of food over here, so we don't need to worry about the food over here. What do we got? So, yeah, we got 84% fodder. And the calves obviously eat slower, so what are we looking at? 220, so 5 would be $1,100. Can I do math? I think so. So we'll buy 5. Get 5 little calves. Leave these guys be. Leave them alone. Fatten them up. And then we'll move in them in a few days. And then in a few days we'll sell some cows probably. Alright, good morning everybody. It's time to feed these cows. Make sure my silage is actually silage. It should be. Because these guys are going to be pretty low in food. Yeah, they're down to 52. So now that the silage, now we can fill this thing up. And then I glanced at the little calves before I came over here, and they're still at 82%, so it looks like they're going to eat 2% food. Oops. Will it still pick it up? Sweet. What about my rear weight? My rear weight's probably over at the other farm. Not that I really need it, but they only ate 2% food, so we're probably not going to need to worry about food in that pen for a while. So we kind of probably don't really need the another food mixer thingy. We can just drive it over there when we need to fill it, as we'll do with the old cow pen once we build it. Uh-oh. I don't know why sometimes it doesn't let me tilt it back the other way. So now I'm kind of like like when I go the wrong way with it, and that causes that havoc. I can't correct it. This might take a minute. So now we need a silage bale. And we repeat that process a couple more times. That's why the other trailer is the auto loading style one is much better, because you just pick them up and then you can stack them up. But forewarning, the stacks won't stay. So if you're trying to be all nice and neat and everything like that, it'll only last for a little while, and then you won't be anywhere near your stacks, and come back to your save game and they'll explode. It's like, oh, I spent so much time trying to line those up and be all neat. Now they're all over the place. Alright, so we should have some food for them. Should take us up to somewhere around 65%. What are we at? 50? Yeah, it's usually about 13%, I think. If you have 10 cows. If you have more than 10 cows, then that ratio is going to be different. But, yep, 60, yep. So, let's go fill this guy up again. We'd have to do this a couple times to get this guy full. Hopefully my controller isn't clacking too much. This microphone's really good at picking that up. Even though it really isn't that obnoxiously loud in real life. The microphone makes it sound like it. It's a little loud, but actually, Geronimo. That's good enough. We knocked a few over there. And silage. Whoa. I seen one. Uh-oh. How can we rotate this camera so we're not blocked by the water tower? Alright. So we'll have to do this one more time, or I'll do this one more time, I guess, so we don't have to watch me do this again. The exact same thing. So we'll fill them up, get them up to about 70 whatever. Yep, 77, and then, yep. Be about 90 after I fill it one more time, so can't fill it a time after that, or it'll be too full. So I'll see you guys in a second when we're over there harvesting the fields. Alright, this field should be basically, work should be basically done plowing this field. I actually surprisingly had to go back and do a little bit of it, but oh, it is 100%. So yeah, this field's done now. So welcome, Atrip here. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I think we maybe just I think I may just start here and scrap everything else that I have so far. I'm gonna drop this off for now, and then we're still about 5,000 in the hole, and I still gotta pay workers to do plow two more fields. But I think I'm going to try something here that I've never tried before that I'm pretty sure is not gonna work. But we'll see. We'll see if we can get some kind of double fertilization going and use slurry and solid fertilizer and see if it makes any difference on the yield. So we're gonna head down to the shop, and we might as well buy a let's buy a slurry spreader. Then we'll head on over to the cow farm and fill that up, and pretty positive too that it's not going to be enough to cover the whole field, nor am I going to want to go back and refill it if we run out. But we should still be able to tell by the stats on the field of whether it made any difference or not. So first is first, we gotta go get ourselves a slurry spreader. And might as well get the larger one, because I'm sure it's going to be more economical. So let's head on over to the shop. I can't remember, because I was searching for it before. Yeah, okay, it's under this. So the small one's 7190, holds 1,585 gallons. The larger one is a little less than 3 grand more and holds twice as much, basically. And yeah, and like work. Oh no, the work area is the same. Okay, but we're still gonna buy the bigger one because we are. So there we go. We got our manure spreader. Manure, slurry, whatever. So let's go fill that up and then go on over to one of the fields and spray it down and pay the worker for some plowing action. Oops. And then plant it and then fertilize it. I'll jump back with you guys in between to see the difference, but we might as well take a ride on down to the farm, since I'm pretty positive I'm going to scrap everything before this anyway. So we're just now starting. We'll go down the farm, we'll fill this up, and then I'll meet back up with you at the field, and then we'll spray the field, and then I'll meet back up with you after it's planted. Look at the stats, what it's showing, what we're going to earn. And then we'll throw down some fertilizer. And see what it says after that. Time to get to work. Fortunately, this is a very slow process in this game. Very slow. But we should have a decent amount over here to fill this up. And our baby calves are over here, so check in on them. They should be fine. How are our calves doing? What we got going on there? 82% foddered, so they're good. They're good to go. Liquid fertilizer, 36%. So we're going to come on down here where the fertilizer thing is. Don't get too close to it or you'll get caught on it. And let's fill this bad boy up. Or whatever we got. I think it might actually fill it up. Yeah, it should fill it up. And that was almost just a little bit more than half of it too, so we still probably have another 2,500 gallons in there. So I'll meet you over at the field. Alright, here we are at the field that we're gonna try this on. It looks like a couple of these little tiny strips are already fertilized, but I'm not sure that's not gonna make any difference. So you can see not plowed or whatever, other than these little bits that didn't get planted last time because I ran out of seeds trying to change different crop types for each field. So we're gonna go ahead and actually the whole point of that was, so field 25, we're gonna stats on field 25 we'll look at as we go. So field 25, not sown, no crop, class 6, 7 acres. All this stuff is 0 shown money wise, so I don't know how much important that's going to be until we actually plant it, but let's try and spread some slurry. Don't usually use this stuff, but then again, I'm not normally doing cows. I always kind of just get stuck in the rut of just doing crops and playing the game, and cows are a lot of work, so trailers are expensive. Money's hard to come by in this game, so I'm gonna pan out just a little bit more. This stuff goes by real quick though. We'll try and do this kind of right, because I don't know when we're gonna run out. That didn't use up too much though. And I'm sure I'm overspreading a lot, but oh well. Do a few lines of this and then I'll see you when we're run out, basically, probably, so. Ah! Look out. Right in the face. In the face! Yeah, used probably close to 1,000 gallons already, it looks like. So yeah, it goes by, and that's only 2 lines, so slurry manure spreaders go by real quick. Well, we'll see what we can do, see what happens. See, it's missing some of it. It's definitely not going to be 100%. Even if we do have enough for the whole field, because I keep on drifting and missing spots, like the edge of the field over there and everything, and right here. Right there. Pretty terrible. Pretty terrible spread, but they'll get the point across, I think, as to whether it works or not, which pretty sure we're just going to be wasting slurry or fertilizer. More like we're going to be wasting fertilizer, and that costs money. So maybe we'll just do like a I think we can get the whole field anyway, but we'll just do like a one spreader affair here, and same thing, the money will, whatever, the stats for the money and everything will either not change or will go up, so regardless of how much we spread on there, I'm sure. So we'll just use one spreader full. Same thing like this. It's like I said, I'm not going to go refill it. If we run out, we run out. So I'll see you when I'm done with playing with this poo. Alright, so not too bad actually. It says we got 91%, and that's probably almost tells me already it's not going to make any difference and we're going to waste fertilizer, but because the fertilizing state's already there. But showing 91%, we just ran out. If I go in this, actually we can show this real quick, like I said, as we go along. So if we go in the stats on the field 25 up there again, still not showing obviously, but now it's showing a stat down here. So 77% of current profitability versus target profitability. That's because we did the work and the slurry was free, so that's why it's so high. So that's I'll actually be interested myself to see how it changes, because that's gonna go back down in a minute, because I'm gonna pay a worker to plow this field. And it kind of, actually we can do this, show you how I do a couple things here real quick. I might as well drive all the way over to the shed over here. Then I'm just going to drop this guy, this slurry spreader, anywhere. And then I don't feel like going to get that plow that we left over by the other field. So I'm going to go in our virtual garage again. I'm going to grab that plow, and I'm actually going to grab the manure spreader, and we're going to plop those into the virtual garage. Then we're going to open our garage. We're going to take said plow, bring that over here to this shed, and then we're going to take the manure spreader and bring that down by shed 1, by the original house shed, so we can refill it when we need to. And then, ta-da! Plow's over here now, and as you notice, it's clean too. So I mean, I guess that's kind of another way to clean your equipment if you want to, kind of. If you put it in the garage, they clean it for you. Virtual cleaning. So let's fill this guy up, just because we're right here, and we can. Get out of him for a second. Get back in this guy. And then we're going to pay a worker to plow that field, because I don't like plowing. Hopefully he cooperates with this one little section that is already cultivated, basically, because it wasn't planted, but because that's what happened with the last field. Usually their workers on this game are pretty fantastic, but he missed a spot on the other field. So anyway, let's hire this guy. $1,400. Get out of his way, and then let him do his thing, and then we'll see you. Well, actually, we might as well pop back with you guys real quick after he's done plowing, because that, like I said, that should change that one stat of the 70 whatever percent it was for current versus target profitability. And then we'll check back after it's planted to see what it's showing the earnings are going to be, and then we'll fertilize it real quick and see if it changes. See you in a bit. Alright, this guy's done plowing, or I guess done enough. Interestingly enough, same thing. It says 96% plowed, so some of these spots that never got planted or whatnot, like, looks like they didn't get plowed. And even though he didn't lift up the plow, he did try. At least in this case, I was kind of standing nearby, and he just drove down the field. They didn't lift it up, so that's kind of interesting. The other field down that way, like, I just paid someone and walked off. And then, as you see, all the equipment is disconnected, so if you're not really in the area when the workers are done, they disconnect everything for you. And then even kind of be more interesting too, I thought it would change, but the stats on the field are still showing that 77% current profitability versus target. So I thought that would have changed because we paid a worker, but now basically it's going to be time for me to get to work and cultivate and seed that field, and then we can look at real stats and then check the inevitable that it's probably not going to be changed when we fertilize it, because it's already fertilized. And I'm pretty sure you can't double dip. So let's disconnect that guy. Grab a hold of the cultivator. Or actually, you know what? Think should we take a big gamble and get the bigger cultivator too? Since this thing is well, if I do that, I'm not gonna. How much is that? 8,400 from here. Yeah, we can just barely afford it anyway. So I'm just gonna have to cultivate this field and seed it, and we'll get back with you and see where we're at. Alright, so we have most of that cultivated and sown and everything. Oh yeah, and I forgot about the irrigation. There's still some leftover irrigation going on in here, so we're at 86% sown until I ran out of seeds, which that's a little interest, like it used more seeds. It ended up being rye because there was a tiny bit left over, so I just refilled it, even though I want it. Barley's probably the best. Rye is actually cost more, and that's kind of weird. We only got 86% of it, but I was falling asleep while I'm doing it this whole time. So then we're gonna go into the stats. So those are actually kind of a little bit interesting too. So we got field 25 here now. So now it's showing estimated profit 1237. That would be profit. I don't know what they factor in there, but that would be after you take out the cost of the seeds and whatever, if there was cost of fertilizer and gas. I don't know if they put gas in there, workers, like I don't know what goes into that. But then so then these change quite a bit. So you get the efficiency class plus the suggested crop. Classes, we have a class 6 field, and then we're planting rye instead of potatoes. That's why that one's so low. I get that one. And then current profitability versus target profitability. These ones I've never quite understood, because, but anyway, pop at those again so we can remember them. So stats, fields, we're 32, 13, 59, 66, and then 1, 2, 3, 7. So let's throw down some real fertilizer too. Basically waste this and see if any of those figures change any. Considering it's already fertilized, so I don't think this is going to do anything other than waste my fertilizer. I mean, it still is getting a little wet looking, so that's interesting, but I'm wondering if I should waste all of it or if I should just do some of it. Yeah, well, and in the mini-map, it is changing in the mini-map. So interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I was about to say, it is possible we'll get it up to 100% because we'll miss this. We'll get the spots that the slurry didn't, but I don't know how much I wanted this actually want to do, even though I do want to see if it does anything, because this is money and you don't make much money in this game. So I don't really want to waste it all. And even more so, you can tell you just have to go by the mini map, because you can't really, I can't really see on the field where I haven't been. We'll do 3 passes, and then we'll check to see if it did anything. I mean, it's clearly doing something on the mini map, which begs more question now if it's going to do anything. Yeah, it says 100% fertilized now. Even though it appears we're still fertilizing. So we'll take one more pass up the top. Just because then at least, whatever. At least 30% of the field is double fertilized. Somebody's having fun outside. So we'll get to the top of the field and see if any of those numbers changed. If they're in our benefit, then we're going to double fertilize. See what happens with this yield. I suspect not. I suspect I just wasted this fertilizer. And then I still have 2 fields to cultivate and fertilize and plant. And I think I'm going to take a nap because I'm falling asleep. So yeah, that at least that went up to 100, but so 12. Well, that went up. Interesting. But only by what, 60? It was 12.37 before, so $62 it went up. That could be just because the difference between the 96 or whatever percent and the 100% fertilizing. Dun 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 dun. 5. Yeah, see, I think those were. Well, the current profitability went up to 15 instead of 13. The other number is the same though. So I'm still gonna guess no. Because I'm assuming it just went up to that $12.99 because it wasn't 100% fertilized before. Now it is. But now it makes me want to but now it makes me wonder. But like I said, it's not like, I guess it does only cost a couple $100 to fill up this fertilizer spreader, but this is money that I'm essentially wasting. Because according to that grid, we're 100% fertilized. Make one more pass and see if it changed any. And interesting. Very interesting. So maybe it does. Maybe you can double fertilize. Because that just went up even higher. And it was already 100% fertilized before we continued. This is all still the same. So, I guess questionable. Maybe you can double fertilize. Because that number is, I don't know how long I want to keep here and hang you guys on, or me doing this. I might as well. I'm probably going to end up using this whole bucket now and seeing what happens, because it's showing on the mini map that it's getting fertilized more, even though it's 100% fertilized. And the money for estimated profit is going up higher, so we'll just leave it with that and say goodbye, and thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And it's and I guess maybe it's potentially possible that you can maybe you can double fertilize in this game, because we pretty much had whatever 96% or whatever fertilized with the slurry, and then money went up a little bit. But I thought that was just because we weren't 100% fertilized. But now it's continuing to, it's going up more now that we, throw down solid fertilizer. So, I'll get to the end of the field. I'll check it one more time, and then we'll see y'all later, hopefully. Hopefully you can hit that subscribe button, that like button, and continue on with this adventure with the broke cows, doing these crappy fields and cows. And then by the time you see me next, probably, like, fortunately this game takes a lot of work and a lot of time, and need to find that time, but my grass fields will be due before these will, after I finish planting all these. And then in 2 days it said that the calves will be cows, and we're gonna have to move those, so actually that might kind of line up. We'll see after we check this real quick. But yeah, that went up again, so it's continuing to go up as we throw down more fertilizer, so that's really interesting. And oops. And then it should be 2 days we'll have the yeah, so that should all line up. Our cows should be ready, and our grass field should be ready in a couple days. And these I guess I'm going to continue throwing down the rest of this bucket of fertilizer on this field and see what happens, because it looks like it is possible you can double fertilize. And then I'm going to have to finish the other fields. First I'm going to stop and edit and pop this out there and take a nap while it's uploading, and we'll see what happens after that. See you all later, and goodbye. Thank you much.